got to tell you something I found the other day when I was on YouTube. Any wrestling fans out there? Huh? Anybody old like me used to watch fucking Tony Garea and Larry Zbyszko, Ivan Putski and Bulldog Brower and Pat Patterson and Ted DiBiase, the Intercontinental Champion, you know, Dusty Rhodes, Mr. Fuji, Mr. Saito, the Moondogs, George the Animal Steel, Superstar, Billy Graham, Bob Backlund, Bruno Sammartino, Greg the Hammer Valentine. I can't remember how many of these fucking guys I still remember. Tony Atlas, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. I still remember their finishing moves. Tony Atlas would just fucking basically do a military press with you. He'd just pick you up over his head and he'd fucking throw you. Right? Andre the Giant would just put his giant fucking size 48 foot. He'd throw you off the ropes and just stick it right in your face. And he'd sit on you. Ivan Putski had the Polish hammer. Greg Valentine had the figure 4 leg lock. That's the first time I ever threw out my back. This kid, when I was in 4th grade, showed me how to do the figure 4 leg lock by putting me into it, and it was fucking killing my knee. And I was trying to get up to get free my leg from putting pressure on my kneecap. And that's the first time I fucked up my lower back. I've had a bad back since the 4th grade. Chief Jay Strombo would do the fucking rain dance. That wasn't too fucking racist, was it? Once he did that, he went into this crazy fucking... He couldn't feel pain anymore, and then he kicked the shit out of you. All right, enough of that shit. So I was just looking up some of the old wrestling stuff that I used to watch. SD Jones, Special Delivery Jones. The guy never fucking won. He was the most coolest fucking guy ever. Anyways, Mr. Wonderful, Roddy Piper. I fucking love all those guys. So anyways, I never heard of this before, but those of you who aren't fans of wrestling there's this thing called a shoot match, which is basically, wrestling. It's sports entertainment. When I was a kid, they used to argue that it was real. And then finally they just said, no, it's fake. But what was great was once they said it was fake, they could actually talk about all the real pain that they go through. So I was kind of just watching some YouTube videos about that, and I came across this stuff called a shoot match. So I was like, what the hell is a shoot match? And a shoot match is basically a wrestling match where they're fake fighting and then somebody gets pissed at somebody else and it becomes a real fight. And what usually happens from the few that I saw is if the person's just not a complete roided up psycho, what it really is either somebody's not selling your moves, like I'm fake punching you and you're just acting like it's not hurting, so you're making me look like an asshole, or somebody, you're allowing somebody to throw you and do a move and they botch it and fuck you up and hurt you, and then you get mad. I saw one with this guy. This kid was new and he went to execute some fucking throw, and this guy was just a psycho. He didn't look like he landed that bad, and he got up and just beat the fuck out of this guy. Just threw him head first out of the ring. The guy landed on his fucking head and immediately had a concussion. Then he picked the guy up and threw him into the metal stairs. And this guy kept selling. I guess he didn't have to sell the moves at that point, but that one was fucking brutal. But the funniest one that you got to see, and I'm having a link to it, it's the Great Antonio versus Antonio. I hope I say it right so he doesn't come over and slap the shit out of me. Inaki, a Japanese guy. So the Great Antonio is this guy. I can't even describe what he looks like. He looks like a fucking troll with a page boy haircut, and he's just ridiculously fat, and he's wearing the ugliest mustard-colored yellow, like, sweatpants with these military boots on. Just not a good-looking person. And he's wrestling this guy, Antonio Inaki, who's a Japanese guy who looks like a fucking movie star. He's got the old school movie star chin. He's got the Jack Lord Hawaii 5-0 fucking haircut. He's in great shape. So they start fucking wrestling and the Japanese guy is being a fucking professional, and the great Antonio, who I guess had a reputation for not selling people's moves and being selfish in the ring, you know, the Japanese guy would punch him in his fat stomach and he wouldn't even move, and then the fat dude would keep like punching his stomach like it's hard as a rock, and people were laughing in the crowd. The fucking guy, like the Japanese guy, throws him off the fucking ropes, and the guy just sort of stops, you know, and doesn't sell the fucking move. And the Japanese guy's looking at him like, what the fuck? And the crowd's laughing. You start seeing the Japanese dude looking at him like, dude, what the fuck? So long story short, they get a few minutes into the round. The Japanese guy has been selling everything the fat fuck's doing. The fat fuck's making the Japanese guy look like an idiot. So fat fuck gets the Japanese guy against the ropes, and he's punching almost like the back of this guy's neck. Super fucking hard. And the guy takes like 3 of them before he finally like blocks the 4th one. And then he just snaps like, dude, what? Like, fuck this. And he just stands up and just open hands slaps this fat fuck in the head as hard as you possibly can. And the fat page boy guy like turns his head. It's fucking phenomenal. And the Japanese guy's making those like, come on, let's fucking fight. And the fat fuck's still kind of like thinking he's just going to take one. He slaps him in the fucking head again, then grabs his leg. Japanese dude just snaps, fucking throws him on his belly, boots him in the fucking head. Right now the ref is going like, whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. So the fat fuck's crawling around like a dog. And the Japanese guy boots him in the head again. Now the fat guy is like fucking planking. He's laying down on the ground, and the Japanese guy boots him in the head like another fucking 6 times. It's almost attempted murder. The fucking dude is a bloody mess. They finally just called a match, and it was one of the great pieces of justice I ever saw. I didn't feel bad for the guy at all when he was getting booted in the head. I was dying laughing. If you saw how hard this fat fuck was punching this poor Japanese guy in the back of his neck, and the guy was taking it like a pro, and finally he was just like, what the... Because it was like he was hitting him for real. And he wasn't selling his moves. So I'm going to have a link for it. If anybody else has some good ones up there, it's just a whole new part of YouTube that, if you're at work, if you're bored right now, just look it up yourself. Shoot matches, SHOOT matches, and there's just some legendary ones. And, as much as they talk to wrestlers and stuff, like I never hear them. I always hear, about doing the road and these great matches that they had. And then, of course, they talk about, people getting the sickness, getting addicted to painkillers and drugs and all that shit. They do all that type of shit, but nobody talks about all these fucking wrestling matches out there that suddenly became real, So I don't know. I hope you enjoy it. That's all I can say.